What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video right here, Chris's MMA Universe. And for this video here, I just want to talk about the rematch with Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski. And this is their immediate rematch for the championship once again. Now, with Alexander Volkanovski being the champion coming into this fight. Now, Alexander Volkanovski beat one of the best reigning champions in the featherweight division, I believe, in featherweight history. Max Holloway is definitely one of the best and still one of the best. Max Holloway, I believe, hasn't even reached his prime yet. He was only 28 years old when he fought Alexander Volkanovski being 31. I'm just talking about where they were when they fought each other the first time, 28, 31. So, with Alexander being 31, Max being 28. So, I believe Max Holloway can go in here, of course, to beat Alexander Volkanovski for their rematch for the second fight. Now, if Max Holloway does achieve that, then what's going to happen is, of course, a trilogy, right? I mean, that's only right, and that's exactly what they will do, because why wouldn't they? But it's the UFC. They like to do 180s and go in a million different directions at once. So, you can't really count on that. But what I am saying is that Alexander Volkanovski, I believe, can win this fight again because it seemed like in that first fight, Alexander Volkanovski had Max Holloway figured out. Now, we all know Max Holloway loves to get that snowball effect going. Max Holloway is a volume puncher. He's not a knockout artist. He's not somebody that just, hits you with the one punch KO. Now, he is a volume puncher that will end up having a snowball effect, and then until it ends up being an avalanche where the opponent can't handle it and ends up being ran over. Now, Alexander Volkanovski was not allowing that to happen for their first fight. They were not, that just wasn't going to happen. Alexander Volkanovski was taking it to Max Holloway, taking it to him, taking it to him, taking it to him. And I mean, he was cracking him with those leg kicks that actually set a UFC record for the featherweight division. So, I mean, we're talking, most leg kicks in a single fight. He ended up setting a record, a UFC record for the featherweight division. That's huge. To set a record in the UFC period is huge. So for Volkanovski to do that to one of the greatest featherweights of all time in Max Holloway, currently the champion, and then winning the title, being able to do that, it's just an accomplishment of itself. And I mean, on so many levels, it just being so huge, you being able to do that, and then also gaining the championship title. So, for Alexander Volkanovski to go in there and take it to Max Holloway the way he did was definitely the he definitely did the best and inflicted the most damage that Max Holloway has ever seen from an opponent. Now, we're talking especially from him being champion. I mean, Max Holloway had such a long reign where he was also a great champion too, right? He was fun to watch. I didn't mind watching his press conferences and definitely watching him fight, him being able to get that volume going, the snowball effect going. But see, when you crack Max Holloway, or you end up going against Max Holloway, and you end up stopping his snowball effect, he has to reset and then start hitting you with volume again all over again. Like, he just has to reset it. Alexander Volkanovski kept coming at Max Holloway to make sure Max Holloway did not get a snowball effect going. So he was, I mean, phenomenal leg kicks from Alexander Volkanovski, like I said, but I mean, they really were. Yeah, it was some beautiful stuff that he was hitting Max Holloway with. Now, Max Holloway was definitely trying to take it to him, but it just wasn't enough. Alexander Volkanovski, surprisingly, because the first time he ever fought in the fifth round is the very first time Alexander Volkanovski went the distance. So to go against somebody like Max Holloway, where Max Holloway has phenomenal cardio, phenomenal. I mean, Max Holloway has one of the best gas tanks in the UFC roster, period. So for Alexander Volkanovski to keep up with him, afflicting damage, slowing down Max Holloway, where Alexander Volkanovski was actually, I mean, he looked fresh even in round five. Like, Alexander Volkanovski has a great gas tank himself, then. You have to say that. you have to say Alexander Volkanovski will be able to keep up with Max Holloway, especially again. Now, can Alexander win the fight? Of course, he's going to go in there with confidence because he beat him already one time. Everybody's gassing him up. You know what I mean? Of course, he's not going to go in there overconfident either. I believe Alexander Volkanovski will go in there, and I do believe that he can beat Max Holloway again. Now, however, Max Holloway has definitely been studying that fight, I'm sure. So, Max Holloway going in there, not even touching his prime, where I believe Max Holloway could be actually rolling into his prime. Maybe not even yet, but I don't believe he's at his prime yet. So Max Holloway could definitely go in there and end up maybe outstriking Alexander Volkanovski this time. However, I don't believe that will happen. I believe Alexander Volkanovski was a little faster than Max Holloway in that fight. In the first fight, I believe he was very hungry. Now, going in there on a full stomach, so to speak, right? Because he's the champion now. But let's not say he does have a full stomach, because Alexander Volkanovski now has a huge target on his back. He knows he's going up against a phenomenal fighter in Max Holloway once again. But I do believe that Alexander Volkanovski has Max Holloway's number. I don't see Max Holloway going in there being able to beat Alexander Volkanovski. Watching that first fight was something phenomenal to see. I mean, the fact that the way Alexander Volkanovski was just, gaining octagon control and being able to just, you know, set striking records and leg kick records and just being able to just take it to him, take it to him, take it to him. Alexander Volkanovski used to weigh over 200 pounds, and he's fighting at featherweight. And he is a very thick, durable featherweight. Now, where Max Holloway is, he's actually a big featherweight. Max Holloway is very big. He gets very thinned out for his fights. I honestly believe Max Holloway's real division is the lightweight division. But him going up there, I just don't think he'll be able to take it to many of the fighters up there. I mean, that is definitely a Shark Tank in the lightweight division. But being in a featherweight is it's not like featherweight division is just some easy division. I'm not saying that by any means. But Alexander Volkanovski is just a thick guy. He's thick, very durable, very athletic. Of course, Max Holloway is very athletic as well. But you've seen when he fights thicker fighters, when he actually went up to lightweight and he fought Dustin Poirier. What happened then? Dustin Poirier took it to him. Dustin Poirier was just a better fighter in that fight. He was thicker, more durable, cracking him with hard punches. Max Holloway was taking it, but he was taking a lot of damage in that fight, where Alexander Volkanovski wasn't really, yeah, he was taking it to Max Holloway, but it wasn't so much like the Dustin Poirier fight. But we're talking two different divisions here. So for Max Holloway actually was taking a lot of damage from Alexander Volkanovski. I just don't see him being able to beat Alexander Volkanovski. I do believe that Alexander Volkanovski is going to, once again, at least what he said, going into the first fight, where, he's going to be able to take his championship and send him up to lightweight and, play with those boys, with the big boys up there. But I do believe Alexander Volkanovski will go in here and win this fight again against Max Holloway. I don't believe it's just going to be a simple fight for Alexander Volkanovski. I'm not saying that by any means. I just do believe that Alexander Volkanovski does have Max Holloway's number. So be sure to tune in for Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski 2, UFC 251, July 11th. And I really want to know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win and how? Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see all you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there.